Hi everyone, thank you so much for taking our time to join me today. I am back to share my Beebeecraft final project share with you all using the resin clipboard mold that I got from Beebeecraft. This is the mold that I use and everything came in a kit. Now if you missed the video where I did my unboxing, you will be able to see all the items that came in that kit. It will also be listed in the company review. If you want to go back and check that out, you'll be able to find that video very easily, and I will also try to place a link in my description box. In addition to that, if you would love to shop with Beebeecraft and get this mold and this kit yourself, you can do that by clicking on the link, because I will have all the products listed that I'm reviewing. You will save $5 off of any order that is $40, so make sure you use the code MEMORY5. So MEMORY5 is the code that you will use to do that. In addition to that, if you would like to collaborate with Beebeecraft, you will be able to do that by clicking on the information that I also have listed, so that way you can collaborate with Beebeecraft. I'm one of their guest designers and I'm on here to share my final project share with you all. So this is the kit that I use right here. This is all the different elements, and I'm not going to go back over this again because you guys already have seen this if you watched that video. But this is the star of the show that I use to go ahead and create or be able to do this resin clipboard mold. And so I used my own resin, of course, that was in my stash, along with a bunch of other things that I needed to be able to complete this project share. Now in the kit, it also included these gilding flakes. We have the gold one here as well as the silver one. I also used this from the kit that came with the mold, and these were very easy to use. They are so beautiful, and you get so much in these packs right here. And you can also use these on other projects as well. Just a tip there. It's very affordable, the kit is. You can definitely check Beebeecraft out. The website will also be listed. But in addition to getting ready to share these final pieces with you all today, I wanted to share again what I used to create these beautiful clipboards. So for my first one, I pulled out my gold metallic paint as well as my light pink, and I just used just my simple paint that I had, which is the acrylic paint, in my stash. In addition to that, I also brought out the Arteza, which is the micro powders. This one right here is bubble bath, and this one here is light gold. This to add a little shimmer to my paint is the look I was going for. And then also for my other clipboard, I brought out my Martha Stewart paint, and this is the pearl purple as well as this beautiful metallic silver color. Now to add a little shimmer to those paints, I also brought out some more Arteza mica powders, which is the amethyst purple as well as the brilliant silver. So these are all the items that I use to mix up my resin, and I've shared my resin before, so I'm not going to go back over that again. But one of the things that I found too, I also used the clipboards that was in the kit. Now the clipboards does not come with the metal hardware pieces, it just comes with the clip itself. And in order for me to adhere it, since I couldn't drill a hole in my resin clipboards, because this mold is a standard clipboard resin mold, so you can see there's no holes at the end or the beginning of this mold here. So you have to get creative. And so what I did was I used my UV resin that I picked up from my local craft store, and this is the Heidi and Joe Resin Craft UV resin. I use this and it cures in minutes. So I did bring out my curing lamp, which is my nail lamp, to be able to cure the clips onto my clipboard. So now on for my finished projects. So this is the first clipboard that I made, and I love the way it turned out. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can see how I have used those gilding flakes there, the gold ones, as well as that beautiful pink on the side with the paint, and also that beautiful Arteza mica powder as well as the gold. Love the way that looks. And here's the clip I was telling you about here. You can see there's no hardware in there. It is cured with the resin, the UV one that is in minutes, and that's the back of it here. So that's the first one there. Now the only thing I will say about the clipboard is it's kind of flimsy still. So to me, I mixed my resin like I was supposed to. I followed directions to the T. But let me know if you made a clipboard and it's still kind of like flimsy a little bit at the top. It's like a plastic almost, but it's like a rubbery feel that I can just move it back and forth. At the bottom you can tell it's pretty solid. So I don't know if the paint might have changed the elements within the resin when I was mixing, or what might have happened, but I did mix according to the time that I was supposed to mix for. So because of that, I went ahead and made a second one, and this is the second one here. This one here, I made this one, and again, I love the way it turned out. I went with a different look for this one. I played with the silver gilding flakes, as well as the silver paint, as well as the purple paint, along with the mica powders that I use. Here's the hardware for this one here. I chose the silver clip. It comes with one gold clip and one silver clip. And again, this is the back. And so again, let me know, because this one's still a little flimsy. That's why I wanted to try it again and see if I had did something wrong. And no, both of them are kind of giving me the same consistency. I don't know if it's my resin or what, but the mold itself works just fine from Beebeecraft. I would prefer for it had the hardware pieces, but I still was able to get around that. So that wasn't a major issue for me. And then the other thing I would have to say, I feel like I had to work a little fast, but again, I did mix according to the directions. But overall, these are the two boards I created with. And until I perfect this, I wanted to keep playing around with it. But I'm on here to share my final pieces as mentioned. I made these both for my daughters to match their rooms. This one is for Jasmine and this one is for Aaliyah. So these are the clipboards that will definitely be coming to them until I can perfect what I'm going to do. But you can still write and use these. I just don't like the fact it still kind of bends. Now, if you have a tip and you are watching this video, feel free to leave your comment to help me out for sure. I would definitely love to hear from you, and also that would help someone else out. But don't forget to check out the description box. And at the end of this video, I do have a process video to kind of show you when I was pouring my paint and mixing up a few of the resin with the mica powders and different things, so that way you guys can kind of see what my process looks like. And so I hope you guys, continue to watch to be able to see that process. But thank you again so much for your continued support. Don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, and check me out on my Instagram page, which is Memory Lane Keepsakes 2017. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, this is Tanya here with Memory Lane Keepsakes, and welcome back to my channel. I am here today to share the Beebeecraft project that I have created for the resin clipboard, and I wanted to share with you some of the items that I'm going to be using for this project share. So this is the resin clipboard. So this is actually the silicone mold for it, and it's going to make a clipboard, and this is what it looks like right here. You can see how long it is, and I have this silicone mold, and I also have from the kit these gold gilding flakes as well as the silver gilding flakes. So I'm going to probably end up using the gold one this go round. In addition to that, I've also pulled some things from my stash that I'm also going to be using. So in addition to that, I'm going to be using this right here, which is the light pink paint, as well as the gold paint. And I'm also going to be adding some of my mica powder by Arteza, which is the bubble bath, as well as the light gold. So I'm going to be mixing those in my resin that I already have in my stash to use this clipboard from Beebeecraft. And before I get into all of that, I'm also going to give you guys a coupon code. The coupon code that I have for you to save $5 off of any order over $40, use the code MEMORY5. And that will also be listed in the description box, along with all the products that I have shared with you guys from Beebeecraft. Feel free to click on those links so that way you guys can take advantage not only of that coupon offer, but also the items that I have been using to share with you all that I've been reviewing. So thank you, Beebeecraft, for allowing me to be a guest designer yet again. I really been having so much fun, and I appreciate everyone who's coming back to support my channel. So I'll be back to share you guys some of the resin pouring. So I am back to go ahead and pour this resin. I'm going to first start with the pink, and then I'm going to start with the gold. As far as the pink, I went ahead and I mixed the light pink and the Arteza, which is the bubble bath color. So I mixed those up together, and I already have my resin, my paints, and my mica already mixed in. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And so all I'm doing now is trying to spread it out some. And I'm kind of going to let it kind of go where it's going to go, but I just want it to be an even spread all the way through. And I'm going to come back and add some more of that pink. But now I'm going to go ahead and start with some of the gold gilding flakes. And I just use a clear resin for this portion here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to spread this out some more here, and I'm going to go ahead and continue to add my resin to the different areas where I want it. And I'm going to go ahead and add my gold. I just want to get it in different areas here. I'm going to add some more pink in there as well that I've already mixed up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it's okay to go ahead and move it around some, that way you can get those corners real well. You want to make sure that you have an even coat. Make sure I get it all in the corners right here. You don't want to miss no areas. Spread out some of the clear resin that I have right here. Make sure this gets where it needs to go. And I already have some other resin prepared in case I ran out, so that's why I'm glad that I went ahead. And you're always best to have a little extra in case you need it, and in this case I'm going to definitely need a little bit more to help me finish this project. So I already have some already mixed, so I'm going to go ahead and add my colors to it now. So I'm going to add some more of those gold gilding flakes to it, so that way I can finish up this one little area here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that now. I'm gonna add some more because I'm gonna make sure I have plenty of flakes in there. So that's what I'm doing to the side over here. So I mix my gilding flakes inside of my resin. You can do that, or you can just lay it on top of your mold and lay the resin on top if you choose to do that. But to get it even mix, I like to do it the way of mixing it in. But you can use your own judgment based on what your needs and the look you're going for may be. I'm just rubbing it off the gloves here because the gilding flakes of course are sticking to it. That's why it's good, like I mentioned, to have a little extra mix on hand just in case you need it. And I mixed about 1.5 cups, equal parts. And now I'm just stirring this up, as you can see. Making sure I have a good mix here. Getting all the size right. Alright, I'm going to pour a little bit right here. And I'm also going to pour some here. Now I got this corner that I didn't get. And also over here. And then you want to go back over and see any areas that you might have missed, or you want to add more resin to. Any of those areas there. So you guys are getting to see how it's coming together. And this wasn't a hard process at all. It just takes a little patience and time to make sure that you mix properly, equal amounts. And I'm going to also go over it with my heat tool, so that way I can make sure that all the bubbles are popped. And I'm also making sure that all these glitter flakes are laying down flat. Alright, I'm gonna set this over to the side over here. Alright, so it looks like I will be back to show you guys in another 24 hours once this has cured like it's supposed to. But before I go, I am going to go over this with the heat tool to make sure that everything is set the way I want. But I still see a few areas that I need to make sure that the glitter flakes are laying down, because I do not want those sticking up before my resin cures. So I want to make sure I'm gonna go back over this now with the heat tool. Okay, here we go. This helps pop any bubbles that's in your resin, so that way it will be a nice and smooth finished project. Alright, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more to come. Okay. So I'm trying these new colors right here to make another mold. So I have my Martha Stewart multi-surface pearl purple paint, as well as the Martha Stewart silver metallic paint. And I've also pulled some Arteza, which is the mica powder, which is the amethyst purple. And I also pulled this one right here, which is the brilliant silver. Now I'm about to go ahead and use that one now. And then I'm going to be pouring some of my other resin that I've mixed with the Gilded Flakes, that is the silver one from Beebeecraft. I'm just trying to create a little pattern here. It don't have to be perfect because the resin is going to pretty much go wherever you try to manipulate it. But for the most part, it's going to kind of do its own thing anyway. So I'm just kind of just playing around with different areas on this silicone mold here that is the clipboard. And I'm just going to see what type of look I'm going to get based on how I'm laying it out right now. So I'm trying a second one here using the mold. I'm scraping all the sides, trying to get the rest of the resin mix out that I have made. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and go with the resin mix that I have made using the silver Gilded Flakes. As you can see, I'm mixing that up again just to make sure that, and I can feel it heating up, so it's trying to activate on me. So I'm going to go ahead and start pouring this. And with this one, I'm going to try to go ahead and move some of it in position since I already have kind of my layout of where I want everything to be. I'm loving the different looks that it's giving me here. Just playing around with the different patterns. Just trying to see where that resin's going to kind of go and flow on its own. And that's a big piece of silver right there, so I'm gonna see if I can try to break that up some. That Gilded Flake is really big there. There we go. Oh, that looks fabulous. I like the way this is looking so far. I'll manipulate it by pouring a little bit more in some areas. And that's pretty much all of it. I'm going to scrape my remaining resin that's in the cup to make sure that I am using every bit that's in here as much as possible, because we don't want to waste any of the resin. And I really like the way that looks so far. That looks really, really nice. I'm also going to go back over my resin with my heat tool, but I'm first going to wipe my gloves off to make sure I don't get no resin on my heat tool. And I'm just looking at the corners here. Might need to move a little bit of resin around. I'm going to get my smaller stick that I have here, and I'm going to try to move some of this resin over here in the corner here to make sure that everything's good. And this one is sticking up, so you want to kind of make sure those gilding flakes are definitely laying down all the way in the resin, so that way it'll be a smooth surface when everything activates like it needs to. And you can even manipulate some of your colors if you want to by doing some swirls and different things. For example, if I want to take it and do something like this, that looks pretty good so far. And even over here, I want to break this up a little bit. So I'm doing some little swirls over here. I really like the way that looks. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my heat tool. Make sure I pop any bubbles that I see. That's the whole purpose of this process here. And you can also go over, if you don't have a heat tool as I'm using here, I borrowed this from the fireplace. You can also use your heat embossing gun. Just make sure you are not keeping the heating tool in one position too long, so that way you don't create a fire. This is to pop any bubbles that's in your resin, so that way you will have a smooth finished surface, because bubbles tend to form if you don't pop them. So you want to make sure you definitely go back over and pop any bubbles. Right, so I will be back once this definitely cures to show you guys what the finished project looks like. Thank you so much for joining me for this part of my resin clipboard tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and demold this resin clipboard that I've created. It has been over 24 hours now, and now it's time to go ahead and take this out the mold. This is what it's looking like so far. So I'm going to take it out now. And it comes out very easy, as you can see. And I really like the way this turned out. This is the back side of it. Look how beautiful. And this is the front side. Really nice. Really happy with the results of this. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish it off by adding the clips to the top of my clipboards, and I'll be back to show you guys the finished look. So now I am setting the clips on my resin clipboards that I have created using the Beebeecraft silicone clipboard mold. I'm using the Heidi and Joe Resin Craft UV resin to set my clips on my clipboards, due to the fact that they did not come with the hardware. And in the kit, if you look online, it's not going to come with the hardware because it's not a part of it, just the clips itself. And of course all the other items that I shared in my unboxing. And so just know that you have a different way of applying the clips. I wish I would have paid more attention to that when I had ordered, but I'm glad that I did get this UV resin that is instant. I'm using my UV light right now to go ahead and seal those clips on, and I have this set so that way that this can go ahead and go through the process of adhering together. And I'll be back to share with you my completed clipboards that I have made using the Beebeecraft silicone mold.